Second, it is I, Arth Blood, the girl next door. Hello, my Speckons. It is I, Arth Blood, the ghoul next door, your favorite ghoul fiend. And today would be day five of my 13 Days of Halloween 2025. This is going to probably be a shorter video today, but I thought we could talk about my top five Johnny Depp horror films. Yeah, when you think horror icon or Scream King or something, you don't usually think Johnny Depp because most people think, oh, he's only got one horror movie. But no, he's got a couple. So let's talk about my five personal favorites of his. So we might as well start with the movie that started his career, and that's A Nightmare on Elm Street. So for anyone who hasn't seen this, Johnny Depp, he plays one of the main characters. This is the movie that literally started his career. Like it says, introducing Johnny Depp. And he is the boyfriend who gets sucked into the bed and you get the blood tower hitting the ceiling. I believe his character's name is Glenn. It's been a couple of years since I've watched it. And for anyone who has not seen A Nightmare on Elm Street, well, Freddy Krueger is a dream demon, and he decides to go on a killing spree of all these teenagers in Springwood. Okay. Moving on, like I said, this is probably going to be a very short video today. Hopefully it's long enough. Moving on, let's go to From Hell. Now, this is based on... Okay, let me get this right. Based on a graphic novel. It's one theory to what could be solving the case of Jack the Ripper. Like, who is Jack the Ripper? So, From Hell, Johnny Depp plays the character of the detective who is on the trail of Jack the Ripper. And it gives the theory that Jack the Ripper was a surgeon, a very prominent surgeon. And it is based on a comic book or a graphic novel. And it is actually one of the better theories of who Jack the Ripper is. I myself I have always been in the thought pattern there, in the conversation that Jack the Ripper was Maybrick. But that's another story for maybe another time. And again, like I said, Johnny Depp plays the detective, and he has to play a heroin addict, an opium addict. So it's a very different role for him, but at the same time, if you saw him in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, he kind of has the same vibe happening. I think those movies were both done around the same time. I don't have my glasses on. I can't see for crap right now. What year was this one? I believe Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas and From Hell were done within a year or two of each other. So that would have put it late 90s. moving on, we have Sleepy Hollow. And again, he plays a detective. This time he plays Ichabod Crane. And he plays him as a amateur, well, not an amateur, but he plays him as a rookie detective. So there's all these gadgets and gadgets that you would have seen in the real world in the late 1800s. And I think he brings a skittishness. if you know the story of at least the movie versions of Sleepy Hollow, the character of Ichabod Crane is very skittish. That's kind of his one trait, really. And so Johnny Depp plays him skittish, but at the same time very inquisitive, because he is playing him as a detective. And I think the pairing of him, there's himself and Christina Ricci, and then I don't remember what the name of the actor or the character. There's a sidekick, and I think his chemistry with the sidekick actually works more than his chemistry with Christina Ricci in this one. I don't really buy them as a love connection. Same thing, I have to point that out. Same thing with From Hell, where his character sort of gets involved with one of the victims before she dies, and I don't really buy the love connection between him and the actor, like his character and the female character, the female lead. It really, to me, always just felt surface noise. This really is going to be a short video. We're running out of movies here. Okay, moving on to The Secret Window. This is based on a Stephen King novel. If you've noticed something so far, and we'll get to the third or the next one too. So far, we've got 3 of his movies in this collection here that I'm talking about, if you want to call it a collection, based on stories. So The Secret Window is based on a Stephen King story about a writer who has been accused of plagiarizing someone else's work, not once but twice. And as he's fighting this, he's also going through, or has just gone through, a really brutal divorce. So he's kind of healing his ego while trying to get on top of the financial situation of having his career basically destroyed, while trying to write a new story, a new novel. And his dog gets killed. A guy shows up at his door claiming to be the person who really wrote the story, and he kills his dog. And there's this half the movie is this kind of cat and mouse between him and the real author character. And you see him slowly, well, not slowly, but rapidly kind of go insane and go deeper into madness. And you're never really sure what's reality, what's a real memory, and what is all in his head. And our final movie on the list here, The Ninth Gate. And I've talked about this movie before a couple times, way back at the beginning of my YouTube, like way over a decade ago. Again, based on a novel. So in this one, in Ninth Gate, Johnny Depp plays a book detective. for a lack of a better term, he authenticates publication dates and first editions and all that, and he's hired to track down a very rare copy of a book and find out if the Ninth Gate is the name of the book he's asked to track down. To track it down and authenticate whether or not the copy that his boss has is the real copy or a fake. And along his journey, he discovers 2 other copies. All 3 of them are authentic. And he has to dodge a coven of Satanists, his boss, who really is not a nice guy, kind of a villain character, the bodyguard of the widow of the guy who sold the book to his boss. She wants the book back, and so her and her bodyguard are like after him. All the while, he's kind of wrapped up with this woman who just appears out of nowhere, telling him that she knows where he needs to go next. And she's kept as a mystery for pretty much the whole movie until the end. And you're given a hint at who she might be and how she might be connected. There's a lot of fan theories because it's never totally explained. Now, the thing is with The Ninth Gate, even though it is based on a book, the book is very different, very, very, very different than the movie. And this is one of those cases, one of those rare cases where the movie is way better than the book. So, okay, you know what? That flew by, but that's tonight's video, and I will be back tomorrow for day 6, because until the end of Halloween, I'm doing 1 movie a day. So I will see you tomorrow with something else in another video. Until then, creeping screams!